and welcome into another Steven Sessions. We are thrilled to have you here. Just as we get started, the meeting is structured where the chat box is open to you. So any questions, any comments that you have throughout our conversation today, you're more than welcome to put them right there, and I'll be checking throughout our conversation. So let's dive right into it, guys. Like I said, we got a full class today. Now, first thing that we always start off with, right? The background is always very important when I build out these trainings because it has to mean something. And we're talking about exceptional experiences, right? Now, this company right here in the background is Disney, obviously, and this is Disney World here in Orlando, Florida. One of the things that they have done, they've built an amazing entertainment brand. They've built so many iconic figures and characters and things of that nature. But what they do beyond anything else at such an exceptional level is the amount of experience and customer experience they provide to every single guest. Now, there's a few things you got to think of, right? They don't call people that come to their parks or consume their content customers or clients. They are guests. And in the hospitality world, there's a really interesting kind of thought process around that is that when someone's a guest, think about a guest coming to your home for dinner. You're going to really take care of them. You're going to personalize the experience to them. You're going to make sure you've got their favorite, beverage, their favorite meal, whatever it might be. It's all personalized. And if you're taking notes, that's the first word I want you to write down. To grow your business in 2026, 2027, 2036, you have to really personalize the experiences that you're providing to your customers. Okay. And whether you call them customers, clients, or now maybe thinking of them as guests, you really want to personalize the experience to them. And we'll talk about how to do that and really understand it. But that's what Disney does at such an amazing level. Now, if we zoom it into the world of real estate, right? Because again, to provide exceptional experiences, I want you thinking outside of the box of only real estate. We can't build our business based on transactions. We know that. We live that. We breathe that here at Kai's and Illustrated. And what we have to realize is it's all about the relationships at the end of the day. And relationships take time to build. They take time to nurture. And that's why it's such a thing of beauty to build your business off of relationships because they are lasting and you can actually build a long-lasting business, not just a business that is really cooking and is hot when the market's doing well and then slows down if the market slows down. A business that regardless of economic factors, you have built based on relationships and amazing experiences. So let's look at this right here. All right. If we look at the market, the current market today, we could train this and say this, ask this question at any time, right? But there's always going to be confusion in the marketplace. All right. There's always going to be noise in the marketplace. You could open up a newspaper, you could go online and read a headline and just type in, how's the real estate market, right? And you're going to hear so many different opinions. And that's really what we have to recognize. Today, more than ever, our consumer base, the marketplace, has more content available to them than ever before. And that's a great thing. And what we have to also recognize with that, it can become extremely confusing to a customer. And so there's a few things we have to look at here. Number one is just what's the time aspect, right? Where are people? Right now it's the summer. Right now people are excited. We celebrated 250 years birthday of the United States of America. So that's exciting, but now people are getting back into things here in the summer. People are thinking about school starting back up in the fall. People are thinking about all these different aspects. And the reason I have this little clock with this house is we've got to recognize we need to meet our customers where they are. Okay, we need to meet them where they are. And we need to meet them as human beings first, not as not as a prospect, not as a potential lead. We start to think that way. We start to think transactionally. What we have to focus on is this is another human being who at some point in the next 12 months might need to buy or sell, but that's not the reason why we're pursuing this relationship. We're pursuing this because we actually care. All right. Then we have Kai's here. You could have Illustrated Properties here as well. That is just a quick reminder again of your foundation, the structure, the support, how we as companies in the Kai's family of companies, our sole focus is to serve. Our sole focus is to be available and to be that clear voice of direction and guidance in a marketplace full of noise, right? And this little image right here, I want you to kind of either take a picture of it or really just remember this. Okay. Again, in a marketplace that is so noisy, you can start to feel and sound like every other real estate agent. And I want you to keep in mind, you're not a real estate agent, okay? You're a real estate professional. And there's a huge difference in the mentality of that. A real estate agent is someone who's reactive. Things are just happening to them. Someone asks them, how's the market? They don't have a good answer. They don't know how to qualify where that question is coming from. But a real estate professional is someone who's proactive. A real estate professional is someone who showed up to this meeting today, 2 days after a huge weekend celebration, because they want to invest in themselves to help nurture and educate their customer. You're a real estate professional. And that is how you start to differentiate yourself. If you'll see this, the one thing that stands out is this little, it looks like a bullseye. right? Because when you start to understand your value and how to differentiate yourself by leveraging the brand that you're a part of, the Kai's company, Illustrated Properties, when you start to understand your value proposition, who you are, what your story is personally and professionally, and how that can connect with other human beings, you will start to differentiate yourself. And this is what we have to think about. How can the value that I provide differentiate me so I can build deeper, long lasting relationships? So when these customers do work with me, I can provide exceptional experiences. Okay. This is what we want to think about. How do we stand out? All right. Now, again, like I said, there's a lot of noise, and this really sums it up, right? We look at this thing here. You could always find a headline or an article that says the market's slowing down or interest rates are so high. And there's all this negativity and confusion, like we said earlier. And our goal is to actually understand what is happening and how to educate based on the reality of the market, based on if someone's a seller, based on if someone's a buyer, based on if someone just wants to learn about the markets of South Florida, right? We cannot be caught up in this, because if we feel this tension, if we feel this urgency and, oh my gosh, I don't know what's happening and I don't know what's going to happen in the next 90 days, that's going to translate to our customers, to the marketplace. And we don't want to do that. We want to be the voice of reason, the voice of calm, the one going through any turbulence, just helping them get through it. All right. So this is what we're going to really be solving for. How do you cut through the noise? And really, it boils down to this one word right here, guys. That word is service. It's not selling, it is service. And that's why, I mean, Mike Pappas says it all the time. Real estate as a business, it's not that hard. It just isn't easy. And what he means by that, and I think it's such a clever saying, what he means by that is the fact that providing exceptional service just takes daily discipline. It takes building habits. It takes doing the right thing every single day, right? Consistently. The reason why people get in this business sometimes is they think it's, oh, I'm going to be a millionaire in a week. And I always tell people it's not as seen on HGTV. This is a real business that you're building, and that's a beautiful thing, but it's going to take time, effort, and energy. And you do that through service. If you focus on your business and focus on living life through the lens of service, the selling will take care of itself. It'll be a great byproduct of the genuine service that you're providing. And so I want us to think about that. If we want to provide exceptional experiences, it's not about some fancy piece of technology or using AI, and all those things can absolutely help, right? But it's about really caring for another human being and being of service to ourselves, right? Maria Hadra totally agrees with that. I love that in the chat. Okay. So let's look at this. This next kind of core piece here is unique. All right. Got to think about that. What I want you to think about right now, maybe put it in the chat. Where is a place that you, at any time, could be the last 12 months, could be the last 12 years, doesn't matter to me. Where have you experienced exceptional service? And I want you to put that in the chat. What is a place you've either gone to dine at, a hotel or resort you've stayed at, an airline you've flown with, where you have had exceptional service and it blew you away? You couldn't even believe it. I want you to type in the chat, where was that place? And maybe if you can remember, how long ago was it? All right, so a Marriott resort. Yeah, Marriott's really known, and they're really focused back again on their customer experience and the service they're providing. So Marriott's a huge one, right? Canlin's, right? Fine dining in Seattle last month. I love that. Former employer, the Ritz. Exactly. The Ritz is a great example as well. The Ritz, Four Seasons. Okay. Any of these, if you think about it, any company that has been around for decades in a service-based business has figured out how to provide exceptional experiences and how to take care of people. Exactly, Frank, right? Where ladies and gentlemen serve ladies and gentlemen. That is Horst Schulze, former CEO of the Ritz. He developed that saying, ladies and gentlemen serving ladies and gentlemen, because that's the mantra. That's not just what they say, it's what they believe and how they work every single day to serve another human being. Now, you could look at even Chick-fil-A, right? Chick-fil-A, it's not fine dining, but the amount of hospitality that they provide in a quick service restaurant experience is exceptional. They're saying my pleasure. They're meeting you in the line. They're taking your order. Everything's dialed in. They're not rushing you, right? They really focus on taking care of their customer. Palace Resort in Cancun. Exactly. So what I want you to think about as we start to think about where was the last place that we experienced exceptional service, how did that make us feel? And what were the things that they did, right? Because service, again, service can't be automated. Service can't be delegated. Service is something we have to truly live by and have everybody on our team bought into. So typically, the reason why we feel these experiences were so exceptional is it was probably in an environment that was just amazing, right? It made us feel like we were in a different world. It was a whole encapsulating, encompassing environment. They probably knew your name, right? If you've ever gone to a beautiful resort, when you get out, the valet opens the door for you. They're greeting you by your first and last name. All of a sudden, that's totally different. That's personalization. That's going above and beyond. We're like, wow, this almost feels like home to me. This is amazing. I love it. Then I'm seeing beauty of the area. And then I'm being brought in by all the other senses. And so we have to think about this because guess what? You run a business in South Florida. That's a beautiful environment. That's a beautiful lifestyle. And you have the opportunity to provide every single prospect, customer, human being that you interact with exceptional experiences simply by getting to know them, by tailoring the process to them. And I'm going to teach you how to do that right now. Okay. Now we got to think right here, right? McDonald's. Okay. Nothing right or wrong about this restaurant, but we just got to think when we look at this picture, what type of experience are we expecting? Are we expecting someone with white gloves to come out and serve our food? Are we expecting a quiet environment? Are we expecting the food to be all handcrafted and we know the story of where it comes from? Right? No, we're not. And again, this is a business that does billions of dollars in revenue. Okay. Nothing right or wrong about it. It's just an example of this is one way to serve. And we've got to think about right now when you go to McDonald's, it feels pretty transactional, right? They're not asking, the only time they're really asking for your name, if they even do, is so they can give you an order slip, right? But it's typically you're just a number now. You get a number, you're 468. All right, go stand in line, go wait. Okay, cool. We've got your Big Mac, we've got your French fries, everything. Here's your order. Boom. You can go serve yourself with the drinks over there. You got the ketchup, whatever you need. Okay. Nothing right or wrong about it. It is a way to serve. What McDonald's did better than anybody else, they figured out, especially in the back end, the back of house, what they call it, how to create a system, right? So that they are pumping out food efficiently. Okay. And a lot of other restaurants have taken that system and applied it to their own. But what they've done is they've built a transaction-based business. You can go on their sign. If you drive by a McDonald's, it'll say billions served. That's transactions. Okay. So you got to think, this business model works, but is this the business model that we currently have in our real estate business? Are we kind of just turning over leads? Are we kind of just looking at a deal as, okay, great, check that box. Where's the next one? Where's the next one? Where's the next one? Or are we slowing down? Are we taking time to personalize the experience? Because again, I'll tell you right here, if you go to a 4 or 5-star restaurant, this is a different expectation. Right now, if we look at this, we expect that this is probably going to be an expensive meal. But here's the deal. The perception of value that a human being has when they're going into an experience helps them either care more or less about the price. Right now, if somebody's going to dine at this restaurant, they know they are expecting that it's going to be probably more than a meal at McDonald's. And that's okay with them because they have high expectations around the level of service, the quality of the food, the dining experience, the ambiance of the restaurant, the environment, the world, quote unquote, that it puts someone in when they're dining here. They also are probably spending this meal with a spouse, family, friends. And so what you've got to remember, if you want to grow your business in 2026, 2027, 2036, whenever you're watching this, you have to do one thing, just one thing. It's not about technology. It's not about systems. It is about doing this one thing. I want you to write this down. Give customers more than they asked for. You give customers more than they asked for. Okay. This restaurant, we know the bill is not going to be $25, but that's okay because I'm willing to pay more money for an experience that hit all my needs, my wants, and my unspoken desires. Okay. So this is what we got to think about. The reason why these companies can charge more money, provide exceptional experiences and meals is because they have studied their customer. And so when the experience level is so high, all of a sudden the price becomes irrelevant. Can you imagine having a business where people would be happy to come back year after year and pay more money for your services and not ever try to negotiate you on price, not ever worry about that? They just knew this is the best of the best. So price is going to be high, but that's okay. I accept it, right? Imagine having a business like that. Wouldn't that be a great thing? Of course. And every single person watching this live or watching the recording has the opportunity to build a business around exceptional experiences where their customers will be happy to pay any price because the service that they are provided far exceeds the price. Okay, just put a yes in the chat if that's making any sense to us right now. Just put a yes in the chat. All right. This is what we want to think about. Now, again, here's what we got to be starting to answer, right? We got to be starting to answer this. Good. I'm glad to see a bunch of yeses coming through. Perfect. So, yeah, Frank, you said watch the series The Bear. Yeah, that's a great show. A great example of this too, right? Becoming from a restaurant in Chicago that was sandwich shop to becoming a fine dining restaurant, the trials, the tribulations, the stress, but it's all about personalizing the experience. So here's some things we got to think about. In those exceptional experiences that you guys told me about in the chat, How did you feel? What impressed you about the experience? How did they do it? Right? And why does service matter? These are all questions. These four questions I want you to be working through the rest of the day, through the rest of the week, to really get a clear understanding of if I'm a customer doing business with you, if I look you up and I don't know you yet, if I meet you at a networking event and I don't really know you yet, how did you make me feel? What impressed me about you and your business and your brand and your brokerage? How did you do it? How did you have a conversation with me about real estate, but it didn't feel like you were a business card realtor who's just trying to shove a card to me so you can try to get me as a lead, right? And why did this matter so much to you to be genuine? These are all questions that we need to ask ourselves about the experiences we've had that were exceptional, and how can we put ourselves in the shoes of our ideal customer so we can answer these to create systems around delivering this. Now, here's the deal. I'm going to teach you this tool. I developed this tool because there's five levels of the customer experience. Most people right now, if we all went out and we walked Main Street, right? And there was businesses on either side of the street. We went to every single business and said, hey, what kind of experience do you provide to your customer? I don't care if this is a store selling paint. I don't care if this is a cafe, if this is a fine dining restaurant, if it's a quick service restaurant. I don't care what it is. If we ask them, what type of experience do you provide to your customers? Chances are the answer we're going to get is, oh, we provide a great experience. We provide the best experience. We provide an amazing experience. Okay, no fault of their own, but chances are if you've ever gone to one of those restaurants, cafes, paint store, whatever it might be, 10 out of 10 times it may not always be that amazing experience, that exceptional experience. And I get it, we're human, right? We can't, like I said, we can't automate service. But the deal is, most people just answer with what they feel is highest because they're not aware of the five levels of the experience. And when we get clear on these five levels, we can do an honest assessment. And that's why I want to walk you through these today, because I need you doing an honest assessment right now of your business as to, okay, what are these five levels? First of all, I'm going to give them to you. I'm going to train you on them. But really, where am I in the level of service that I provide? And where do I strive to be? Okay. So here's the five levels. You don't need to write them down right now. We're going to go through them one by one. But here's what I want you to think about. There's five levels of the experience. You can see from basic to exceptional. Like I said, if we go ask local business owners or really any business owner, what kind of experience you provide, chances are they're going to be trying to answer in this level five category. And I'm going to tell you right now, only 5% of businesses actually operate here because this is extremely difficult. This is an amazing thing to strive towards. And I believe you can all hit this. And I believe with Kai's, with Illustrated Properties, you can actually provide exceptional experiences consistently. And if you're taking notes, that's another word I want you to write down. Consistency. Consistency. Okay, that is the key here to providing exceptional experiences, is being consistent. All right, so how do we do this? Let's jump into this. Well, first, we got to understand what these five levels are. Okay, level one, I'm going to write this down, please. This is a basic experience. Basic experience. Okay, so let's picture that we go to an Italian restaurant for dinner. All right. And we go to that restaurant. We all have a certain level of expectation. We expect to go in. We expect to talk to a host or a hostess. We expect to be brought to our table. We expect the meal to be good. Hopefully, it's better than good, right? We expect the service, hopefully, to be good or better than good. We hope the bathrooms are clean. We hope everything's on time. And we hope that the price isn't too crazy. Okay. That's an expected experience. But here's the deal. Basic is when we provide a level of experience below what our customers expected. If their level of expectation is here and we're providing below that, we have what is called a basic experience. This is when it is the bare minimum. And I'll tell you right now, guys, post-pandemic, this is where a lot of companies have defaulted to, right? They have standards, but as you know, you can go into a lot of different companies of any industry and you can tell people don't really care about what they're doing. They're kind of providing just the bare minimum. It's like a good experience. It's fine. But here's the key. Here's how you know if you're providing basic experiences. You are resolving simple and basic questions or situations, right? It's just like, yeah, it's kind of easy. It's fine. Like I'm not putting in that much effort. But this is the thing. Companies or businesses that are providing a level one basic experience, they are losing money every single day, every week, every month, every quarter, every year. And what happens is, let's say we go to that Italian restaurant and we had a reservation for 7 p.m. We get there at 6:50. We're early. Perfect. Our table's not ready till 7:15. Okay, that's kind of like a notch down. All right, we'll give them another chance. Things happen. We get it's busy, right? Then we get there and they give us the menus. But then no bread comes to the table. We had ordered a round of waters. No water comes to the table. Then when we order the actual appetizer and entree, They get one of them mixed up. Then we go, the bathrooms kind of got paper towels like thrown everywhere on their trash can. Then we come back and we look at the bill and we're surprised by the bill because it was a fine experience, but like not really what I expected even. And I can't really believe this is the price for it. And then on the way out, nobody thanks us. Nobody opens the door for us and we leave. What's happening? If you and a close friend or you and a spouse just had that experience, when you're walking out of the door and you look at your spouse or your close friend, you say, hey, would you ever go back there again? What are they saying? No, no, not a chance. Right. But here's the deal. This is why it's the silent killer of so many businesses, regardless of industry. You notice throughout that entire interaction and experience at the restaurant, our level of experience is dropping, dropping, dropping. They're losing us as a customer. The experiences we're having are getting worse and worse and worse, but we are not saying anything to a manager. We're not helping the business correct what the problems are because we as guests don't feel it, first of all, that it's our responsibility. And second of all, we almost might feel it's rude or abrasive to be like, hey, can you get a manager? This is not up to my standard. We feel like that's almost rude. But guess what? If we don't get any of that feedback, the business doesn't know what to solve. And everybody else is thinking we're doing a fine job because the standards and the expectations are so low that, yeah, this is fine. And then company goes out of business in 3 years and they wonder why. I need you to be really honest with yourself right now. In any area of your business, in your marketing, in your advertising, in your prospect communication, in your follow-ups, in your presentation of your website, your Forbes Global Properties page, whatever it is there anything that is less than what a customer would ideally expect? Our social media, the way that we answer an email, the promptness, the timeliness, the way we answer a call, the way we answer a text message, the way we hold a showing, an open house. If we are providing in any area of our business a basic experience, it might feel a little painful right now, but you should be so proud of yourself because you've identified it today. And now on July 6th, you've got the opportunity to change it. The issue is if we identify it and don't do anything about it. And I'll tell you right now, the same pillars apply to your personal life. Okay. If you've had goals for your health, your wellness, your mental well being, relationship, whatever it might be that we are not working on, we've got the opportunity right now to be aware of it, take ownership of it, and start to change it. All right. I don't want you providing a basic experience in any aspect of your life or business because it's not going to work out. All right. So that's basic. Level one. We do not want to be here. Okay. Level two. This is where 90% of your competition lives right now. Expected experiences. And I think a lot of companies live here, and I'm hoping that you don't live here in your business. All right. And if you do in any area, let's not be afraid of it. Let's take ownership today and let's change it. So, an expected experience is level two. This is when you're simply breaking even. Okay. You're like, yeah, 2025 was a decent year. 2026 seems to be like I'm kind of right on track. Do you hear what I said in that sentence? It seems to be like I'm kind of right on track. That's a red flag telling us we don't have systems, we don't have processes in place that are helping us recognize. I mean, we're 7 months into the year now. We should already have been known within the first month of the first quarter if, hey, what I'm doing for my prospecting is actually working. And am I on track? Where's my budget? What are my open houses? What are the listing quantity that I have? How am I selling them? What's the days on market? You got to have systems and numbers and metrics. And you yourself can identify these things, just writing them down. You can meet with your manager, and they're absolute rock stars in doing this with you too. They'll help you analyze your business year over year and start to see what is happening. But you got to have systems. If you're providing expected experiences, you're not going to be able to grow. You'll be breaking even, like I said, but you'll be wondering, like, man, is it the market? This is when people start to automatically blame the market. It's got to be the market. It's got to be interest rates. It's got to be that fact that it's the summer and things are slower. All right, guys, we put ourselves in a glass ceiling when we don't have to. So what is it? So again, an expected experience, it's the status quo. It's better than a basic experience, but that's not saying a whole lot, right? Your customers, your guests, they received exactly what they thought they would. We go to that Italian restaurant and we have a fine experience. It's fine. It's not like we're going and writing a review about how amazing it was, posting that on social media. It's fine. Yeah, we could go back at some point, but it's like I'm not really drawn back to it. So you've got to remember in your business, the way that you're communicating with customers, the way that you're posting on social media and branding and advertising yourself, the way that you're following up with past customers, is it just what they expect? Is our closing gift just like a bottle of champagne or a closing basket? That's very expected. That's a level two. Or did you take time to get to know who this customer is, their needs, wants, and unspoken desires, and you're delivering a much more elevated experience? That's the goal. We're shifting and not just running a transaction-based business. We're actually growing based on what this person cares about. All right. So that's an expected experience level two. Remember, this is where your competition lives, level two, and sometimes in level one. But I want you to be really striving for level three, four, and five. And let's get into what those even mean here. Okay. So a level 3 experience, this is really important. It's a desired experience. Okay. And what you'll notice here, if we look at this image, it's a pretty small layer. Look at level 1, pretty big. Look at level 2, pretty wide. Look at level 3, pretty thin. The reason here is this is hard to achieve. And it's only hard to achieve, back to what Mike Pappas said earlier, because this just takes a little bit of effort to consistently study who your ideal customer is and to get to understand what's called their psychographics, their reason for making a purchase decision. Don't just think about real estate, but this is what someone sees as values, principles in their life, pillars. It's their desires. Now, again, I used Disney as the experience in the background here, right? So Disney has done an amazing job again at studying, spending so much time, effort, and energy studying their ideal customer and what they actually desire without their customer ever having to tell them that. Okay. And that's what starts to separate companies. That's what starts to separate real estate professionals. You got to understand right here that a desired experience. What are the actual desires of your customer? Your customer doesn't want someone who can help them buy or sell a property. That is way too generic. That's a level 1, a level 2. Everybody can do that because that's transactional. It's the peace of mind they're looking for. It's someone who can help proactively educate them, someone who can give them a full picture view and understanding of the marketplace. Imagine if someone's moving from Manhattan to New York in 3 months. They don't understand, or from Manhattan to Florida, not Manhattan to New York, same deal. Manhattan to Florida, they don't understand what's the difference of Miami-Dade County, Broward County, Palm Beach County, the West Coast. What's the difference of those? Then if I'm looking at actually moving to Palm Beach County, what's the difference of Boca Raton to West Palm Beach? Completely different worlds, right? Same county. That's what they desire. It's the things they actually want you to understand that they're looking for. If they have a family, right? What's the functionality of the area they're moving to? All of these things matter. What is it that they actually wish they could experience? They're not going to be telling you that. You've got to have taken time to study them. And it's not hard to do that today, right? Now, again, we've got to be really honest in answering these. Do we know the unspoken desires and wishes of our customers? And do we actually serve to those? Remember, I said the one thing you need to do to grow your business, regardless of the year, regardless of what the market is doing, do one thing: give your customers more than they asked for. This is how you start to do it. You study who they are. You study their patterns of consumption. You study their lifestyle. You study what they actually want. And that's where you desire. And that's where you deliver. Okay. Really, really important. It separates customers. And I'm telling you right now, think about it. Companies like Disney that provide a desired experience, companies like Chick-fil-A that provide a desired experience, people aren't worried about how much they're paying at those places, right? You're starting to make more as a business because you're actually hitting the desires of your customer. Now, this one here is a huge differentiator. I want you to take this note. This is a level 4. This is a memorable experience, a memorable experience. Human beings will spend more money to create memories that last a lifetime with people they love and care about. And I'm going to use Disney again. I went to Disney for the first time 2 years ago, and I had no idea that families wear matching t-shirts when they go to Disney, right? I had no idea that was a thing. So I'm walking around with my family, and I look over and I see a dad, and he's got this t-shirt on, and the t-shirt says, it literally says this: most expensive day of my life. Most expensive day of my life. And he was proud to wear that. This is what we are talking about. That person said, hey, I'm even going to wear a shirt that's telling everybody this is the most expensive day of my life, but I don't care. Why? Because I've got my family here. And we're creating these memories that are going to last a lifetime, these amazing experiences. And so I'm willing to wear a t-shirt that says most expensive day of my life. When the experience level is so high, price becomes irrelevant. This is what you need to think about and understand for your business. Okay. What type of memories are you creating? If you're just showing a house, yeah, it's beautiful. It's got 4 beds, 3.5 baths. It's on this much land. Here's the ocean. That's still transactional. What's the experience? Hey, can you imagine the family waking up on this holiday morning or on a birthday morning, coming down and everybody watching the big game here, whatever it is? That's the memories. And you're showing them the memories they can have here. You're showing them how this works into their lifestyle and even hits desires that you know they have, but they haven't said to you. Now you're starting to serve them. Now you're starting to create an experience they can really get involved in. Now price becomes less and less of an issue, right? If you don't want to worry about battling on your commission rate or compensation, you need to create experiences, okay? This is a huge differentiator. Again, companies that are creating memorable experiences for their customers are charging more and more amount of money, all right? And this is why. Again, it's unforgettable. Memorable interactions. Can you imagine just doing something this simple, guys? In the lens of real estate, you help someone purchase a property, and then you hold a 1 year celebratory anniversary party for them. You host it, right? Yeah, it's going to be some of your investment into them, but that's the difference, right? If you're like, man, hosting this party, Steve, is going to cost me money. It's the wrong way to think about it. This is not an expense. This is an investment in the relationship of this customer. But you say, hey, invite 50 of your closest friends, family, colleagues. We want to throw a party for you. I'm going to host it. I'll be there. But it's going to be a 4 hour party. And we just want to celebrate, a year in this beautiful property. They're not going to say no to that. That's really cool, very thoughtful. You're going to host it. So also, guess what happens? When you're there and you've got a beautiful setup and food's great and music's great, everybody's having a wonderful time. Guess who is going to be introduced to every single person at that party from the homeowners? You will be. They're a real estate professional who cared enough to hold an event for them where they can invite their other friends, family, just to show them like, this is community. This is what I care about, how I treat my customers. Do you think you could have the opportunity to serve any other people from that party? 1,000%. Because they're all going to be blown away. Like, this is such a cool party. Your real estate professional did this? I've never heard of that. That's amazing. Oh, yeah, they're actually right here. Let me introduce you. Boom. Now you're planting seeds. Now you're saying, hey, if this is the type of experience you want your family to have, not just because it's a party, but if you think this party is great, you should see how I serve the customers when we make offers, when we negotiate, all these things. It's your business is now speaking for itself. The brand is speaking for itself. And that's the goal. That's the goal, guys. All right. So again, these are unique and tangible experiences that are spoken about for years. Small things, guys, we can do in our business from just looking at other amazing companies and applying these principles directly to ourselves that can really grow our business. All right. So memorable. Now, this last one, this is where I want all of us to strive for. Okay. This is an exceptional experience. This is where 5% of companies live consistently. Because remember, it's hard to do this consistently. But this is when you're not even just providing memories, you're going so much farther above and beyond it, right? Everything's personalized, everything's tailored to them. People are so blown away. They cannot even imagine that you thought of this for them. We've all had this experience in one way or another. It could even be if someone cooked your favorite meal and you were just so appreciative that they took the time to think about you. They bought the ingredient. They made this for you. That goes so much farther than simply a bottle of champagne that says, thanks so much for being a client. If you have referrals, that's your greatest compliment. They're hearing that from everybody. That doesn't mean anything to them. So an exceptional experience, okay? This is really a new level of thinking. It's the only level you want to be thinking about. It's that proactive full service. It's bringing things full circle. You're going above and beyond. You're differentiating yourself because you actually care so much about these people. Your reputation is speaking for itself. Remember, they've already met your reputation before they've ever met you. So again, thinking of things like the appreciation parties, thinking of things like personalized gifts, just personalizing the experience in the 3 levels are so important. And when I say the 3 levels, I'm going to train you on what that is because a lot of your competition simply believes that doing business comes down to 2 levels, but there's 3. And the third is where you really start to differentiate yourself. And I'll show you some data behind it. But I really want you guys just to put again a yes in the chat or whatever you want. If one of these levels resonated with you, we may have seen some areas of opportunity that we're like, okay, all right, maybe I am providing just kind of expected experiences here. And hey, maybe in some areas of my business, I'm providing exceptional or memorable, or I know where I want to be striving towards, right? We should all be striving towards that exceptional experience because if we can't hit that, which I believe you can, you're still going to provide memorable experiences. And that's huge, right? So yeah, in the chat, people will forget all the challenges in the transaction, but they're going to remember how you made them feel. That's it, right? They're just saying nobody cares about how much you know until they know about how much you care. And it sounds so cliche, but it is so true, especially in a post-pandemic society. Human beings are craving connection, and we really need to hone in on actually caring for one another. All right. So those are the 5 levels of the experience. Now there's 3 phases of your business, and I want you to write this out, right? I want you to draw this out, do whatever you're gonna do. But this is how I want you to start to plug and play with the 5 levels of experience. Because I'm going to teach you the 3 phases of your business. In every single phase, you're providing one of those 5 levels that we just trained on. You're either providing a basic, an expected, a desired, a memorable, or an exceptional. And we're not just going to say we're providing exceptional because we think we're great. No, we don't determine how great we are. The marketplace does. Okay. So that's a pretty easy way to tell it. So here's the phases of our business, guys. There's 3 phases, right? And I'm going to break each one of these down for you. But there's a pre-service phase. And I love seeing in the chat that this resonated with you guys. That's awesome. Pre-service phase. This is so important. This is the perceived amount of value that someone has with your brand before they've ever experienced you. So if we just use our easy example of an Italian restaurant, if we Google best Italian restaurants in Fort Lauderdale, right? And one pops up and it's got 525 ratings and it's 4.8 stars. We have a pretty high level of perceived value there simply because we see other human beings said this is a great experience. So that helps. If we then go on their website, on their social media, and everything is still branded to that same experience, that's helping anchor a higher level of experience before we've ever decided to give them a dollar. This is what we have to think about with our business. The pre-service aspect is critically important. This is not simply buying a list of leads. This is if I look you up on Instagram, if I Google your Kai's website, your Illustrated website, whatever it is, what is that perception of value that I have right there? How are we positioned in the marketplace? Because you've got to remember, there's a lot of people with real estate licenses in the state of Florida, but you're a real estate professional. So what's the differentiated amount of value that you're providing and how are you doing it? And I'll teach you how to in a second. Then you can see we have intra. This is the second phase of service. This is so important. This is everything someone experiences from the time they reach out to you or they fill out a contact form or a lead form all the way through when the deal is closed. That's the intra-service experience. That's everything that's happening within this experience, okay? Then this post-service. I am telling you, your competition's only focused in the pre and the intra. If you neglect the post-service side of your business, you're going to be right where you were year over year. You're not going to grow. You will not grow. And there's so much opportunity right here because this is simply following up. This is simply following up. This is why you build a relationship-based business. Because if you have a relationship with somebody after the deal's closed, you still want to reach out to them. You still want to spend time with them. You still want to connect with them, pour into them, serve them. If you run a transaction-based business, your post-service strategy looks like this. Thanks so much. Here's your bottle of champagne and a gift basket. When you or somebody you know wants to buy or sell again, you let me know. There's no value in that at all. That is just so transactional. That's an expected level of service, level two. So here's the deal, guys. Pre-service, I'm telling you right now. Okay, pre-service, this is so important. This is when someone is in the brand awareness and first impression phase of their research, right? They might be buying a house in 12 months. They might be selling their house in 12 months, but they're starting their research now. And they are filtering out very quickly who they want to work with potentially based on, exactly, Kenneth. That's it. Three phases of service, pre, intra, and post. There you go. Okay. So brand awareness and first impression. When I am starting my search, what are the things I'm looking for? Okay. Are you giving me any value? Like you'll see it all the time on social media. And I train realtors in social media. Please do not use it as another form of the MLS where you're posting just listed, just sold open houses. Nobody cares about that at all. And that is the truth. Not that you're a bad realtor. No, that's not saying that at all. It's just they don't care about your inventory. They can get that from any other website. They care about you. How can I get to know you a little bit? How can I get to like you and trust you a little bit? Are you providing me any value? Are you giving me any tips on moving to Florida? Are you giving me any tips on selling my property? How can I help? The only way you do that, guys, if again, you've studied the psychographics and the psychology of your customer, and have you studied their wants, their needs, and their actual pain points? That's all that marketing is. Identifying who your ideal customer is, the pain they currently have, and how your product or service alleviates that pain and gets them to their desired end result. So here's some data in the pre-service phase. Okay. This is wild. 88% of customers say that authenticity is important when making decisions on who they want to work with. 88%, almost 90% of human beings. Doesn't matter the industry, doesn't matter the product or the service. Authenticity. Do I feel like this person is being real and authentic? Fast way for people to get to know you like that is through social media, through your website. But social media, you can have videos, you can have content up there. People can watch it and say, does this person feel legitimate? Do I like this? Or is it just open house, just listed, just sold? I don't know who they are. Got to think about that. Okay. Super important. Look at this. 77% of people say that they work with brands they share values with, they feel aligned with. That's a huge, huge push right now in the marketplace across any industry, selling a product or service. Do I feel like we have the same principles, the same values? If I do, if I feel like I can connect with their ethos, then I'm in, right? It's a huge decision-making factor. Remember, back to that Ritz-Carlton, ladies and gentlemen serving ladies and gentlemen. That feels elevated. That feels classy. Now, that's not their branding when you're going to buy or a room for 2 nights. That's not what it says on their website, but that's their ethos, and that's how you're going to feel. So what is it that you're branding in your business? It cannot just be I help you buy and sell. You're going to get lost in the noise. All right. Look at this. 87% of human beings read online reviews for local businesses. That makes sense. We do the same thing. But this next number is crazy. Look at this. 85% of human beings today, July 6, 2026, trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations. That is Unbelievable. 85% of human beings will trust what they read online as a recommendation or referral or don't go there as much as they do from an actual human being in person. I mean, that's massive. That's massive. So you got to think, am I using testimonial tree? Do I have that set up? Do I have testimonials? Do I have reviews where people can see them when they're researching me? If you don't think, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be successful. No, put down in all caps, I got to schedule a meeting with my concierge. They're going to walk you through these things. They're going to help you set all this up, but this is critically important. This is the pre-service before they've even worked with you or talked to you. What is the experience that they're having? Now look at this. Millennials. Okay, 47% of millennials say that they are influenced by a brand's social media presence. We know this, right? People try to laugh at it when they hear influencer marketing. If you're laughing at it, that just means you may not understand it. People, that's all that marketing and advertising has always been. Back from when it was newspapers to radio to TV ads, now to social media. It's all about influence. Who do you see up there that you kind of know, like, and trust who is talking about a product or service that you have a higher likelihood as a human being to buy that than if it's just some person you've never seen? So you've got to think in your brand. You don't need to necessarily become an influencer, but you have to think of yourself. We talk about farming, right? That's all you're doing with a farming area, sending direct mail. You're trying to influence that market that, hey, I'm here. I'm an expert. I can help you. That's all influence. Utilize these updated platforms today that have so much more organic reach with some of those traditional methods. And we'll do that in a second. But this is huge, guys. You can tell I'm a little bit passionate about this because if you just look at your business through these three phases, pre-service, how does someone get to see me? Intra-service, post-service, and the 5 levels of the actual experience, you put these things together, guys, you're going to soar. Just do it consistently. All right, so intra-service, this is everything that someone experiences from, okay, they're like, all right, I like this person. I'm seeing them on social media. They've got really great value providing content. I've followed them now for 3-6 months. I'm now going to reach out to them. I want to just pick their brain a little bit more. Doesn't mean you're sitting down at a listing consultation, a buyer's consultation, not yet, but that's going to be part of this process. But this is every single thing that someone experiences you from the time they start talking to you all the way through to when the deal is closed. That's your intra-service experience. Think about it. It's the time that you open the door to the restaurant all to go in, all the way to the time that you open the door of the restaurant to exit. That is the intra-service experience. All right. Here's the deal. This is when everything we've been talking about is now real. The rubber meets the road, right? This is where you should have so much confidence because with Kai's and Illustrated Properties, you've got all the support, the amazing offices, amazing managers, amazing concierge, all the resources you'd ever need to support a buyer or a seller, a tenant, a landlord. You've got everything and more. This should be so confident for you. And this is where you start to differentiate yourself. I want you to write down these 3 C's, please. You want every single, now they're a customer, right? They were a prospect in the pre-service. Now the intra, they're a customer. They've signed a buyer engagement letter with you. They've signed a listing agreement with you. You want them to feel confidence in your services, in their choice. You want them to feel that commitment that you have to them and they have to you as well. And that consistency. Every single time I call Joanne, she picks up the phone. She got the same bright tone. I know she's going to help me solve the problem. When I call Joni, I can pick her brain on any questions she got. Boom. I know these things are going to be there. So when they call you, Joe Smith Realtor, when they call you, whoever it is, what is the experience? When they email you, what is that experience? If they send you a text, what is that experience? Is it consistent every time? It's very hard to do business like this, up and down, up and down, up and down. And you might say, well, that's how the markets feel, Steve. That's fair. That's out of your control. You got to be steady. You've got to be calm, cool, confident. Give them that consistency that every human being is craving. You've also got to be doing these 3 things at all times. Solving. I say it all the time. I don't even think you're real estate professionals. I think you're professional problem solvers. That is what you're doing. You're solving my problems. I can call you with a question. I can call you for some insight. You're solving it, right? Providing me feedback. I provide you the information, you decide, and you're helping me set and understand the expectations that we have throughout this deal. If you do these things, guys, again, not rocket science, but we do these things consistently, you're going to grow. You will grow. That is the only derivative of this. Now look at this. This is wild. This is wild. 5%. If you increase customer retention, the way you take care of customers, the amount of repeat business you have, simply by 5%, you have the opportunity to increase your profits of your business anywhere between 25 and 95%. I don't know about you, but I almost fell out of my chair when I was doing the research to build this out and I saw that. And this is from Bain and Company. And this is true. Would you have a problem with growing your profits anywhere between 25 and 95% if you simply increased your customer retention by 5%? I think those are some pretty great numbers to work with. Well, how do I increase my customer retention? You provide them level 4, memorable, and level 5, exceptional experiences consistently. You do what we're actually training on today. You don't come to this training on July 6th and then July 7th, you're back to your old habits. You're not going to do it that way, right? You do it by staying consistent in what we train on today, getting involved in your office, going to your manager meetings, picking everyone's brains, getting the support and resources you need. Look at this. 7 out of 10 customers say they will spend more money to do business with a company that delivers great service. We're talking about great service, not even exceptional. People essentially want to go to a restaurant and not be made angry or upset because the order was wrong or something like that. That's a really low bar of expectation, guys. That's why this says great here. So, again, do we have a problem with 70% of our customers saying that they will spend more money with us if we provide them a great experience? They're not even asking for memorable. They're not even asking for exceptional, just great. I think we can all do that, and we can provide even more than that. Again, guys, this is why we just need to boil these things down. Start to recognize it's not that crazy. It's not that hard. Okay. And all these things are going to do exactly what we see on the screen here. It's going to build our reputation. Would you want to have a reputation in the real estate world of, hey, this person goes above and beyond? And they don't just say it. Here's how they did it for me. They're a professional problem solver. I'm telling you, they kept me so proactive. They'd send me a list track update every single month. They'd give me a call, or every single Monday, give me a call, walk me through. That's a great reputation to have. Competitive advantage. Well, Steve, I'm new to real estate. That's fine. That's a great opportunity. You're with a brokerage that's 100 years old. You could be with Illustrated Properties that's 50 years old. Still, really strong numbers. Both done billions of dollars in services and real estate sales. Learn that. Use that as a competitive advantage, right? The customer feedback, increased loyalty, increased revenue. Guys, these are all great things that will be a byproduct of you simply serving your customers at higher levels. That's it. So just give me a yes in the chat if this is something that you want to be able to do. If you want to be able to consistently provide higher levels of service for your customers, we should see 1,500 yeses coming through this chat right now. Okay. Because if we don't, we've probably fallen asleep during the call. Right. But I'm seeing a lot of yeses come through here. There we go, Lisa. I love it. And all caps with a bunch of exclamation marks. That's what I'm talking about, guys. We just have to commit to these things now. Just have to commit. You've got all the tools in the world that you need to absolutely smash a pre-service experience, smash an intra-service experience, and smash a post-service experience. It just matters, what are we doing with it? I love it. We got a yes, sir, with a confetti. There we go. All right, so post-service. This, guys, this is such a golden opportunity right here. Post-service. Remember, they've gone through pre-service. They've done their research. They've figured out that you're the person they want to work with. You worked with them. Intra-service was, boom, it's a level 5. They're like blown away. Amazing. This is great. And remember, an amazing experience, an exceptional experience is not just about the amount of money that you help someone sell their property for or the amount of money you help them negotiate down when they buy. That is a transactional piece and a negotiation piece. That's a tactic. The experience ties into all of this, okay? So post-service, this is crazy, right? This is where I have this image. This is what you got to think about. You've got your customers in the palm of your hand. They trust you with one of the biggest decisions in their life. That should not be taken lightly. Not be taken lightly. That's a huge deal. Keep serving them after the deal has closed. Please. I'm going to show you some data that you're going to be astounded by, right? Follow up with value. Not just a, hey, here's a bottle of champagne. You got to know them. They got to know you. You understand what they care about. You understand what they're involved in as a family. If they love playing polo, maybe you surprise them with a tickets to a polo match, right? Up in Wellington, whatever it might be, soccer tickets, whatever it might be. Then you want to hear, well, those are really expensive, Steve. That's the wrong way to think about it. This is an investment into your business, into your customers, into the relationship, right? Follow up with value. You want to, again, right here, stay connected, stay committed, stay customer centric, not commission centric. Hey, if you know, or somebody wants to buy or sell, send them my way. That's so commission centric. That's so transactional. That's so uncomfortable for them to hear. They're like, okay, thanks. Yeah, appreciate it. We loved you. Great. And then they work with someone else the next time they buy a house. And you're like, what happened? You didn't stay customer centric. You stayed commission centric. Stay customer centric. Stay in front of them. Add value to them. Here's the data, guys. Look at this. 92% of people trust referrals from people they know. We all know that. We all know that. But think about, again, the appreciation event idea. That's just one simple event. We could do 1,000 other ideas that could keep you in front of this customer, adding value to them and opening you up to their sphere of influence. 92% of those people would rather work with someone that they refer them to than someone they find online. Huge. Look at this. Here's an opportunity, guys. Look at this. 91% of realtors never never contact their customers after closing. Not a single time. If you haven't fallen off your chair yet, now might be the time. Okay. Don't actually fall off your chair. That's insane. This is your competition, guys. That's unbelievable. 91% never follow up a single time after the deal is closed. You know why? Because they're focused back on the pre-service side of their business. Where's the next lead? Where's the next commission? I need more. I need more. I need more. If you simply took care and increased your customer retention by 5% by following up, which your customers aren't doing, you're going to increase your revenue and profit 25 to 95%. I mean, Mike Pappas, not a hard business. It's just not easy. It's not easy because sometimes we get bored of the basics. This is basic stuff. This is basics. You know, if you have a relationship with a spouse, you've got to continue to nurture that relationship. If you have kids, you can't tell them one time, yeah, I love you. And then they believe that for the rest of their life. You got to nurture this. Keep following, keep making that known. Do the same thing in your business, guys. Same thing. You've got a lot of opportunity out there. I don't care what the marketplace is doing. I don't care what the interest rates are. I don't care what month it is. This is the opportunity to serve. It's right there. It is right there. Again, look at this. Look at this. 25%, only 25% of sellers use the agent who they worked with previously. You know why? Because nobody else is following up. So there's 75% of customers who have sold a house to someone or bought a house to someone, and now they're going to be a seller, and they're not using the realtor they use because guess what? They've never heard of them again. Haven't heard back from them. It's like, guys, the numbers are in your favor. Please just follow up with people and not like, hey, Joanne, I know we bought together 5 years ago. You thinking of selling? Would you be interested in a current market valuation update? No, that's commission breath. That's commission centric. That's not customer centric. You don't care about that customer. You care about your commission. You need to say, hey, Joanne, hope you and the family are doing great. Where have you guys traveled the last few? I know you love going to Italy, whatever it is. Hey, I want to send you this LPI magazine. Guys, we've got so many resources, so many ways to stand in front of them that are completely company paid that you can just absolutely smash new numbers with by just taking care of your customer. Just taking care of your customer. That's it. That is it. All right. Now, you thought I was fired up earlier. This is the stuff I get fired up on because these are the basics. And that's what I want you to think about. What phase of my business right now, for my pre-service, my marketing and advertising, my interest service, the actual customer experience, to my post-service, the elevated customer experience after they've closed with me, which do I have an opportunity in? It could be all three. I guarantee you it's all three for all of us on this call, right? And that's a beautiful thing. That's not like, oh man, I'm not going to do it this year. No. Now you've got awareness. Now go talk to your concierge. Now go talk to your manager. Now get around other top producers and learn from them. How do you do this? And you want to grade yourself today in my pre-service, right? What level of experience am I providing out of these? What level? 1 through 5. In my intra-service, what level am I providing? 1 through 5. And in my post-service, what level am I providing? 1 through 5. Not once every now and then, all the time, consistently, right? We might be at a 2. We might be at a 3. We might be at a 5. Great. Awesome. But if you're not, that's okay. We've got to start to put these things into play now. All right. So again, guys, in the 3 phases of service, if you'll notice with this Venn diagram, we've got pre, intra, post. In the middle of it, there's always the customer. Customer centric, not commission centric. That simple. All right. Then these S's, S, S, S. This is all the level of service you're providing, 1 through 5, because they're going to transition through these different phases. All right. Don't forget about them anywhere. All right. Now, how do we do this from the pre-service side? All right. It's their discovery phase and curiosity. Some modern ways you can do this. All right. R&D, research and development, right? Constantly researching what are great companies doing, right? Finding pain points of your ideal customer, not just people in the state of Florida who own a house. That's not your ideal customer. That's way too broad. Get really clear on your farming area, who these people are. Find their pain points. Figure out their geographical locations, farm areas. Understand, write it down somewhere and study these. Role play to these, their wants, their needs, their interests, their unspoken desires. You're going to know them. FAQs, start to film content, answering frequently asked questions that your ideal customer has. Remember, if that's that person moving from Manhattan to Miami, right? If you filmed a video that was, hey, if you want to buy in Miami, I'm the top producer here, they're not going to, there's no value there. It's all about me. But if I say, hey, if you're someone who lives in Manhattan and you're thinking about moving to Miami and you want to know 3 things to pay attention to when you're relocating, my name's Steve Merrill with the Kai's Company, and in 60 seconds, I'm going to tell you those 3 things. Number 1 is this. Number 2 is that. Number 3 is this. And if that was helpful to you, follow me to learn more. Do you think that video is going to get more engagement and traction than, hey, if you're looking to buy, I'm your local guy? Yeah, there's no value in that. There's a lot of value, and I'm going to tell you the three things, the five things, the one thing to pay attention to. That is value providing content. Do that, right? If you don't know how to do it, send me an email, ask me about it, right? Whatever it is, I'm happy to help. Value, again, add so much value during this discovery phase, they cannot forget you. So many realtors think on social media, well, I can't give them the three things they need to know because they're not going to need me. It's the exact opposite. Stop thinking in scarcity of I've got to hold it all right here and listen. No, you need to think, okay, they need education really badly. They really need to know how to do this. I'm going to help them. Then guess what? From a consumer perspective, they're like, wow, this is the only realtors actually give me valuable information. This is helpful. I'm going to follow them. I'm going to keep watching their content. Maybe I'm going to reach out to them. They really seem to know what they're doing. They don't care about your inventory. They care about the value and the information you're providing them. Make it about them, not you. Okay, some traditional ways to do this, right? Networking, sending out direct mail, flyers, calling, network events. There's so many ways to traditionally do this as well. Now, intra-service, when they start to work with you, they're actually experiencing your service. Some modern ways, right? Constantly you're connecting with them. You're solving their pain points. You're maintaining expectations. You're sending personalized videos to them. You're giving updates provided based on the stage of the deal, whether they're a buyer, a seller, a tenant, a landlord, doesn't matter who. All these things apply. You're answering questions. You're keeping them informed before they have to ask. That's that proactive professional we talked about. Some traditional ways to do this, right? Give them a call. Just give them a call. Take them out to coffee, to lunch, give them an update on what's happening. Gifting, right? Like we talked about in terms of an amazing experience for them. A year after they've moved in, or whatever it is, you've got them in the palm of your hand. Take care of them. Now, the post-service experience, this is that customer-centric follow-up. Some modern ways to do this, guys, right? Kai's Connect in our CRM, you've got all the ways you need to, but personalized videos, right? Reaching back out to them. Hey, hope you guys are doing well. First weekend, anything you need, let me know. Popping by their house, video testimonials from them, tagging them on social media, events at their house, housewarming parties. You could literally go to ChatGPT right now, any AI platform, say, give me 25 post-service ideas on how I could follow up with my customers who have just bought a house or sold a house, and I really want to provide them value. Give me 25 ideas that cost $50 or less. Boom, you're going to have 25 ideas in 8 seconds. You got the information. Are you executing on it? That's all that matters, okay? Traditional side of this, again, give them a call. Take them out to coffee, to lunch, to dinner. Handwritten note cards, follow-ups, Lolo, put them on Lolo, right? It's an amazing tool that we have, $1 per person a month. They're going to get sent a local gift every single month. You're going to see from the Lolo dashboard who it's sent to, what gift it sent them. You're going to see when they open it, when they redeem it. You can call them up. Like, guys, there's so many options. There are so many options that you can have that are completely company provided. There are paid options too. But if you're like, man, this is firing me up, I want to learn how to really grow this, go meet with your manager. Please go meet with your concierge. Please. They will help you set up these tools specifically. All right. Now, this all again comes down to your level of experience that you're providing consistently, not just once. You hit the home run, you provide an exceptional experience one time. I love it. Now you got to get back up the plate, keep swinging for those home runs, keep swinging, keep aiming the highest you can, because we don't want to have an exceptional experience one time and then just default back to where all of your competition is, just providing expected experiences. It's just humming along. It's fine. It's great, but it's not like, wow, I got it. This is amazing. This person's on it. They're proactive. They're up for it, right? You want to provide exceptional experiences as frequently as you can, as consistently as you can. Again, we have systems for that, but what it's going to come down to, number one, before any systems, any technology, is, do you believe that you want to provide this level of experience? Do you believe you can? Do you believe that your customers are worth it? Do you believe your business is worth it? I think the answer to those things is all yes, a resounding yes, right? But it's not going to matter what we talk about in this class. It's going to matter what you do now. So, guys, I hope that this conversation today on experience helped you. This is really just the tip of the iceberg. And if you want other trainings on how to really dive deep, now, like I've written a 500-page book on providing exceptional experiences called the Customer Service Cookbook. But if you want other trainings on this, let me know. Put it in the chat here or send me an email, and I'll be happy to use these Steven sessions for this too, because this is really what it is. And as you can tell, it's invigorating. It's exciting. It's not just, okay, here's a list, call the list. No, it's not that. It's really about taking care of your customers, taking care of their families, understanding what they need and how to really deliver beyond that. So I hope this is helpful for you guys. I hope you learned at least one thing. And yes, for sure, this training will be sent out today. as a follow-up recording. So any questions you have, feel free to reach out. But hope you guys really enjoyed this. Thank you all so much for coming on this beautiful Monday morning and taking some of these golden nuggets. Now I want you to go apply them. And again, any questions you have, feel free to reach out. But thank you guys all so much. Have a wonderful day. We will see you next Monday. Stay safe, stay productive, and keep getting after it. If you need anything, just let me know. Thanks so much, guys.